What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Knicks Nation post-game show. Your New York Knickerbockers beat the Philadelphia 76ers 110-105. Appreciate every single one of you joining me here tonight. Woo, that was a close one. But thank you to number 11, Jalen Brunson. Who you gonna call? Jalen Brunson. Once again, smash the like button, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thank you for giving me your time on this Wednesday evening. Just me and you on this post-game show. Clutch player of the year, Mr. Jalen Brunson, ladies and gentlemen. Clutch player of the year. He's going to win the award. He's come up clutch all season long for this New York Knicks team. It's crazy to say that he's even getting better. He's getting better. Captain freaking Clutch in clutch time. Just has delivered time after time again. Brunson saved this game, which was a terrible second half from this Knicks team, and we won't get into it all, but look, he went on a 9-0 little run to end the game. Beautiful inbound play from Tom Thibodeau, too, getting OG Anunoby open for that easy dunk to put the Knicks up 5. Nice block on Achua on Drummond there in the fourth, in the final seconds. But who you gonna call Mr. 11 JB? And look, the Knicks ended their 2-game losing streak. They, had a rough weekend. Jalen Brunson said after the post game that they need to block out all the noise and just focus on what's the task at hand. And look, there's a sense of confidence that Jalen Brunson has when he's just playing like this. And look, in that second half, the Knicks weren't playing good basketball, right? They weren't. And then they said, JB, please save us. Please save us. And he did, man. He did. There's a reason why he's a freaking 2-time All-Star, superstar, and I'm just glad that he's on our team. Appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in tonight. I see you guys in the comments. This Rover says, this team, man. El Figgy says, Cat's hurt. Josh is playing through pain. OG's not right. Hukporti got hurt. Yeah, man, that sucks. Injuries suck, man. Hopefully the guys will get back soon. Hukporti left this game with a sprained knee. I hope that he's going to be back soon. But he left and then came back and then left again. So that's never a good sign. Hopefully we can get Mitchell Robinson back in the next game, which I do think he will be back in the next game. Michael says, this team drives me crazy. I guess the days of the easy wins are over. It is either blowout losses or barely winning. These fourth quarters are gut-wrenching. We have pulled out so many games at the end. I agree. Look, it's been as long as we're learning through these wins, and you would think like the second half was just bad for the Knicks. I mean, there was a point in the third quarter. Philly went on a 15-5 run with 4:19 left in the third to 10:50 in the fourth, and they got back in this game, and Knicks just weren't playing how they played in the first half. A lot of turnovers. We'll go through the box score. Anunoby can't dribble. Precious, saw some ISO stuff from him tonight where I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, what is going on? Anunoby lost the ball a few times, but had a clutch dunk once again. Shout out to Thibs for calling that nice inbounding play. Thought that was a beautiful play drawn up from Tom Thibodeau. And yeah, like Jalen Brunson said in the post game, man, you gotta learn through these games. But I'm just happy that they pulled out, which would have been a bad L, but they pulled it out. Tony, what's going on? What's going on, Tony? Before anything, yes, smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Isaiah said, this is a bad loss for me, man. I get that we won, but Brunson shouldn't have to consistently have to put this team on his back. He's been doing it time after time after time this year. He's going to win Clutch Player of the Year, man. Look, 9-0 run, the mini 9-0 run from Jalen Brunson, and he saved this. He saved him. We asked our captain to please lead us home, to take us home, because the offense was stagnant. The guys were turning the ball over, and Jalen Brunson just said, just get out of my way, and I'm going to win this game. And he was getting to the basket in that final 5 minutes. I mean, it's just beautiful brand of basketball from Jalen Brunson. His little herky-jerky stuff, he just continues to improve, continues to impress, and he's, been like this all season long. And none other than that clutch 3 where he hit on the right by the corner baseline. But Melo was right there, and he was pointing at Melo, and it was just, look, we won, right? We won. I know some of you guys don't like the way we won, but we won. Loud and Clear says, I'm shot, bro. Eddie says, why do we go through this every game? How can we struggle against a team on an 8-game losing streak? Guys, look, shout out to Mikal. We went 6 minutes, 43 seconds without giving Mikal Bridges his love tonight, man. Shout out to Mikal Bridges, man, for real. Mikal Bridges, man, you were the punching bag. When we call out a player, it's only right to come back and give that player some love. And Bridges heard the noise, and it's always a positive sign seeing Mikal Bridges bounce back after he had a terrible weekend. So he's done this a couple of times, by the way. 19 first quarter points for Mikal Bridges and 7 assists for Jalen Brunson in that I believe he had all 7 assists in the first quarter. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he had 7 assists in the first quarter for the Knicks and did not have an assist since then. So the ball movement was non-existent for the Knicks at all. Like I said, turnovers. 16 turnovers for the Knicks. Second half it was ugly, but shout out to Mikal Bridges answering the bell, came out of the first quarter hot, and you could tell that guys heard he heard the noise. Good for him, man. Good for him. 12 of 18, efficient game for Mikal, 3 of 5 from 3. Got to the free throw line. Hey now, I'm looking for my soundboard. Got to the free throw line. I would see if I can find my soundboard. Sound effects. Got to the free throw line. Missed one free throw though. 1 of 2 from the line. 3 of 5 for 3. Look, but great game for Mikal, guys. And he had the Maxey assignment. I thought in the first half he kind of shut Maxey off. Philadelphia found something in the second half, but look, Mikal needed a bounce back game like this because he was receiving the slings and arrows, and I thought tonight he just played with poise and he was just hitting his shots, right? 18 field goal attempts for Mikal, and he made 12 of them. And he's, this is what he's capable of, and the only thing that has concerned me is that he hasn't done this against, the best of the best. But I shout out to Mikal Bridges, just good game from him, and showed up. That's all we wanted. Show up, and he did. So shout out to Mikal. All right, Knicks win 110-105. I feel like the sense of the post of the chat is kind of like, yeah, we won, but look, after that weekend we just endured, guys, I'm going to take this win and I'm going to run with it. Like, this could have went in another direction, and it was headed in another direction. Philly, they went up late, and I was like, this is not happening right now. Like, this is not happening right now. And credit to the Knicks in clutch situations. Mikal hit a 3. Jalen Brunson, thank you. Thank you for being a New York Knick. He's just simply incredible. will win Clutch Player of the Year. Josh Hart with the 17 rebounds. And, this was going to be one of those losses where we would just scream to scream at everybody. But after the weekend, we just endured. And after the news we got from Mitch that he probably will return next game, I'm going to take this win because, you got to. Philly came in here, they lost 8 straight games. This is their 9th straight game. Look, you're now 21-10 at home. You persevered. You got it done. Now we move on to, Memphis, and we just go from there. Yuri says this team has great. What's going on, Yuri? Joel says, an OG has no bag. He was a sniper from 3 last year. What happened? His dribbling is horrendous. Yeah, OG Anunoby can't dribble, man. It's like awkward watching him, try to attempt to, drive to the basket or, his handles, just bad handles, right? And that's something you can't really fix. I mean, it's just awkward to watch. I mean, none of his, prior to in the second half, none of his attempts were within the flow of the offense. And you're sitting there he just loses the ball at random times too. And it's just bro, you got to get stronger with your hands. You're built like a tank, man. You got to get stronger with your hands. You got to, go up with more aggressiveness. And stop losing the ball. OG's handles are, they're not great, to say the least. And that's been an issue, right? OG, he can't really create. He wants to create. He wants to do his thing. He wants to dance a little bit. But we know that that's not really his strong suit. OG is a good catch and shoot 3-point shooter. And, he's more of a catch and shoot type of guy. Does he get in the paint sometimes? And can he, do his little step back in the mid-range, and can he convert? Yes. But, tonight, it just looked awkward, man. And he only finished with 1 turnover, but it's just his shots weren't within the flow of the offense, just inefficient, 1 of 6, 5 of 15. But yeah, that's on OG. Joel says we barely beat the 76ers at home. 3-0 against them. We won the series. Let's go, man. Let's go. Vibe says take it and run. Michael says, how many times can we expect Brunson to bail us out? Look, as long as we win these games, I'll take Brunson bailing us out, because what he has shown us this year is that he has kind of unlocked a new gear, and he's, just been super clutch for us this season, just hitting clutch shot after clutch shot after clutch shot. You want the ball in your best player's hands, when you need a bucket. And when we needed a bucket tonight, Brunson delivered time after time after time again. I mean, when he goes on those little mini runs, it's a 5-0 run, then it's a 7-0 run. And he's getting to the free throw line, 15 to 16 from the free throw line, by the way. Shout out to JB, getting to the free throw line, getting his calls, 34-7, just an incredible night from your captain. And yeah, he bailed us out, but sometimes your best players are going to bail you out. And, that's just the reality of the situation. Look, Cat is out. OG was struggling with a shot. Mikal, at times I thought, the Knicks should have ran more sets for him, especially in that second half. They kind of went away from it. Just stagnant. Ball was stagnant. They Precious, 4 blocks, 7 points tonight, but 2 turnovers. And I thought, the ISO stuff from Precious needs to stop. I think he airballed a shot in the first half, by the way. But shout out to Precious with a big block. 4 blocks, 6 boards, 2 assists. McBride, some good D, and Josh Hart with the 17 boards. Sometimes you're going to need your best players to bail you out, guys. And Brunson has bailed us out a lot this year. He has, man. Tony says, I love this win, but I'm happy. The only issue I had was that they stopped giving Mikal looks 6 minutes left in the third quarter at the end of the game. Yeah. That's coaching, man. That's something that Tom Thibodeau has to work on, and Tom Thibodeau has to adjust. Mikal was feeling it tonight. Anytime that Mikal Bridges is feeling it like he was tonight when he had 19 first quarter points, come on, man. Let it ride, man. Let it ride the hot hand. Even though Brunson's on the bench, let Mikal do his thing a little bit because Anunoby wasn't having it. And shout out to Huck, by the way. Shout out to Huck, man. I don't know why this man wasn't playing over Jericho Sims in the beginning of the season. Just such a better offensive player than Sims was. 8 points, 2 rebounds in 16 minutes. Just want to see him healthy now. I mean, 1 block for Huck. He had a big block too for Huck, and it's just stuff you can't teach from Hukporti. And I just love the upside from him. I know he's gonna have a bright future in this league for sure. And I'm just happy that he's on our team. And I'm just hoping that, his knee injury isn't serious. It's a sprained knee. Once again, he came back. He left the game and then came back, then left again. You really don't want to see that. But shout out to Huck. Shout out to Huck. El Figgy says Josh Hart's turnovers did not help. Tried to avoid that, but 7 turnovers for Josh Hart, 7 points, 17 boards, 7 turnovers. It's not what you want. It's not what you want from Joshy. And, he only attempted 5 shots. Another thing in the starting 5, when Hart's going to be in the start, like he's been in the starting 5, teams are leaving him open. They're daring him to shoot the 3, and he's kind of, no attempts today. Only 5 shots. But you could tell that, he wants to get everyone else involved. He's going to be that guy who cleans up the glass, 3 offensive boards. He's going to be, the junkyard dog for us. And he has been all season long. And, some of those turnovers too, especially there was a couple in the 4th that I was like, oh, that kind of led to the 76ers run. And, it happens. Vibes. A win is a win. Yuri says, I'm not complaining after the week we had. Exactly. I'm not complaining after the weekend we had. That was a rough week, guys. That was a rough weekend. And tonight would have been, if they would have lost this one, guys, man, you thought the pitchforks were out after the Sunday loss. They would have been out tonight for sure. But once again, number 11, shout out to the Cat. Shout out to the Cat. Knicks win 110-105. Appreciate every single one of you tuning into the Knicks Nation post-game show. Once again, link is pinned up in the Discord if any of you wanted to call in. I see Yuri waiting, of course. You guys could call in. We'll get to your calls a little bit later on. But we're just talking about this win. Captain Clutch, number 11, JB, just does it time after time again. Shout out to Mikal Bridges. Heard the noise and just balled out. You could tell right off the gate. Those 19 first quarter points for Bridges, he was feeling it, man. And that is the Mikal Bridges that we were waiting for this weekend. Like, thank you. Like, I wish we would have saw that versus Boston and versus Cleveland, but that is the Mikal Bridges. Obviously, he plays better at home, but that is the Mikal Bridges that I want to see consistently. Not 19 first quarter points, because I know that's not going to happen. I think that tied his career high for the amount of points he had in a quarter. If not, that was his career high for the amount of points he had in a quarter. But Mikal was awesome. Mikal was awesome tonight. And even 2 steals, 28 points. When he's in the flow of the offense like that, especially when he's knocking down his threes, because this season he's having a poor shooting year from 3, believe it or not. There's only one season where he shot poor, and that was his rookie season. So I'm sure some regression is coming from Mikal. And all we could do now is just hope that Mikal just takes this game and builds off of it, because look, guys, he's had good games like this. He's had great games for us. But the only problem that I've had is that in the big games, we haven't seen him. Right? We haven't seen him. And now it's Anunoby, because people are seeing him lose the ball and the handles are just awkward and seems like he can't dribble really. Now I'm like kind of worried about that, but we know what Anunoby brings. We do. So let's just say like he's not a great one-on-one ISO player. Like that's a fact. Like that's not his strength, and that's okay, right? That's okay. I mean, we need him to hit his threes, hit his middies when he's open, and defend his ass off. And what I love tonight, guys, which we haven't seen this weekend, which I'm sure most of you noticed, was this number right here. OG Anunoby, 9 rebounds tonight. 9 freaking rebounds for OG Anunoby. And the reason why I'm highlighting that is because he is a poor rebounder. And this past weekend, I think, versus Boston, I don't even think he had a rebound. And we know, look, he's a poor rebounder. But I love that he got the 9 tonight. It's great. Look, versus LA, 1 rebound. At Cleveland, no rebounds. Boston, 2 rebounds. Philly, 9 rebounds. You love that rebounding number from OG Anunoby. Like, for his size, he shouldn't be playing 35 minutes and grabbing 2 rebounds. You know, obviously, this weekend was a lot for the team, but just love that he grabbed the 9 rebounds tonight. Right? We can breathe, guys. We can breathe. Pistons beat the Celtics, by the way. We can breathe. We can exhale. Sand says, how about the captain, Jalen freaking Brunson, ladies and gentlemen. Sands, he's been awesome. Sands says Bridges. He's been awesome, man. Yo, Alpha, what's going on? Appreciate you in the chat. Yeah, crazy game, man. Look, I was nervous. You know, I was watching the game. I'm sitting here like first half. First of all, how about that isolation bucket that Jalen Brunson had to end the first half? That was nasty. Where he did the little, you know, half turnaround, hit the shot when it was, I think there's like 1 second left to end the first half. That bucket was disgusting. And he's done some moves this year where it's just blown my mind. And you could tell he's constantly learning, constantly in the gym, and constantly just improving his game. And even though he got the bag this summer, even though he got paid, you know, JB has the mindset of he wants to continue to excel and continue to learn and continue to get better and better. And for our captain to have that mindset as a New York Knick, that's all you can ask for, right? That's all you can ask for. And look, he has saved the Knicks in many games this season. Many games. He will win Clutch Player of the Year. I don't even think that's a hot take. He will win. 9-0 run to close the game. Brunson has just been incredible for this team. And if it wasn't for him, this would have been another L. Right? Yuri says OG is shaking off the rust. I'm going to leave it at that. Tony says Brunson is today's closeout Kobe Bryant. Tony says nothing funny about he has his personality quiet and let professional and does the basketball lets the basketball do the talking. Yes. Yes. Yeah, Pistons won 8 in a row. They just beat the Celtics, man. It's crazy. Yo, Alpha says, what do you think about the rookie center Ariel Hukporti? First and foremost, love him. You know, I think the Knicks should have been playing this man from beginning of the season, honestly. I thought he should have been playing over Sims. I think maybe they just wanted to give Sims more opportunities. But Hukporti is just, look, for him being the last pick in the second round and for him to provide just anything, right? And just anything, like last pick in the second round, and for the Knicks to, I mean, look, Cat was out tonight and you needed him. You needed him. 2 offensive boards, 1 big block, 8 points. And the thing I love about Hukporti is that offensively, he kind of like reminds me a little bit of Hartenstein, right? With the push shots, the little floaters. He has a sneaky good offensive game. And for this being his rookie season, that just is a positive to me because he can only get better from here on out. He's going to learn from Cat. He's going to learn from Mitch. And I'm just happy that, our bigs are like in a day and age where, people are searching for bigs, and we have 3 of them who can play. Like Cat is a stud. Mitch will be back next game. And, hopefully we can get good things from him. You know what Mitch brings. It's just about the health. Hukporti, you got Hukporti kind of loading in the chamber. And for him being the last pick in the second round to provide anything for this basketball club is just impressive. And, offensively is what's really intriguing me, because some of the moves he makes, like around the rim, it's like for a big man his size, it's impressive stuff, man. It's really impressive stuff from Huck. So just shout out to him once again. We'll see if we get some news about his knee, if Tom Thibodeau is speaking, or you guys can let me know in the chat. I'm just uploading my refreshing my timeline, but I'm hoping that the sprained knee isn't serious. But then again, you never know with these things. But I'm hoping that, he's okay. And, we get Mitch back next game. He will be on a strict minutes restriction, but hopefully Cat will be back and we just go from there. But shout out to Huck, man. Shout out to Huck. Imagine if Thibs had a brain. Look, man. Final inbounding play, by the way. The inbounding drawn-up play from Tom Thibodeau I thought was one of his best. It was a good play with that guy Anunoby open for the easy dunk. And it put the Knicks up 5. But Thibs has been catching heat, especially this past weekend, as he should have. He's been catching heat, right? And he started Hukporti tonight because no Cat. And look, it's just going to have to be one of those things that you think about during the playoffs, because I know I've seen a lot of fire Tom Thibodeau talk, fire Thibs. He's not going to bring us to the promised land. That's not going. We're not going to worry about that stuff into the summer, guys. We just have to wait and see what happens in the playoffs, because nothing's going to happen now. Nothing's going to happen in these last 26 games or 25 games. He's not going anywhere, guys. So I just think that if we get in a playoff series and let's say we get matched up with the Detroit Pistons, who are I think they're the hottest team in the NBA right now, and God forbid, I'm just throwing stuff out there, but then we could talk about the Thibs situation. But I just think that he's not going anywhere until this summer, if they were going to make a move. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be questioned, like the Hukporti thing. He should have been playing more. The rotations, he went 7-man early on in the season, so a lot to be questioned. But look, man, third in the Eastern Conference right now. I just think that you got to solidify yourself in the 3rd seed. You got to, fix these problems that you've been having. Not moving the ball, the stagnant offense. You got to fix them. You do, because you almost lost this damn game. You almost lost this game, and we would have just, the mood tonight would have been sour. I would have just, it would have been devastating. But you pulled out. JB saved you. But there are things to work on. Jalen Brunson said at the end of the postgame, we still have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And for a team that we have high expectations for, obviously we temper those expectations this past weekend. In a good spot, man. It's a long season. Anything can happen, man. But yeah, that's my little take on a Thibs. But look, I see it. I see the frustration. Tony says, man, Thibs is fine. The players got to want to play team defense. And when your number gets called, you got to perform, period. Thibs isn't making OG Anunoby miss. Yeah, man. 5 of 15 from the field, OG Anunoby. 1 of 6 from 3. And for somebody who right now who just looks like he can't dribble, Like, that's not on Thibs. Like, there was a possession, I think in the first half, where he tried going one-on-one. It looked awkward as heck, man. Like, and look, I love OG Anunoby, but I was like, man, like, I don't know if his elbow was bothering him, but look, that's been kind of OG Anunoby, right? He wants to be, the thing about OG is that he wants to be more involved offensively, but really, that's not what we need you to do. Like, we don't need you to go one-on-one and, try to do your step back and, it's no. Like, if that's not your strength, don't do it. And a lot of those step backs that he has are short. They're very short. But we don't need him to do that. So he just needs to temper that. Because the thing is, handling the basketball, we got Jalen Brunson and we got Mikal Bridges. And we got Josh Hart on the fast break. Right? JB can't create his own shot. Mikal Bridges can't create his own shot. Karl-Anthony Towns can do his own thing. And Anunoby, like, that's not his strength. That's not his strength. So temper that a little bit. Can't dribble right now, man. Looks awkward as heck. Stanley says Knicks had the most difficult schedule. Wouldn't surprise me if the Pacers passed the Knicks in the standings. Still got a long season. Stanley says $40 million a year for OG, and the guy can't dribble, and he looks lame. Look, ever since he came back from injury, and I thought that he tweaked his foot tonight. I saw him wincing a little bit, but it just, the thing about OG, but prior to the injury, he was starting to come around, right? Let me just see if I can. Yeah, look at this stretch. 20 points, 33 points, 15 points versus Memphis, 23 points versus Denver. And then he gets hurt in the Laker game. And he was 5 of 7 in that game. So he was playing well prior to the injury. He's back from injury, and now he's struggling. So I'm just going to chalk it up to that because he just hasn't looked the same, right? He hasn't looked the same, and maybe he doesn't have his legs underneath of him. And, yeah, he just looks gassed. Just looks tired. Just inefficient. But prior to him getting hurt, he was balling for us, right? He had the little cold streak, then he was back. Then he started to play well, and then he got hurt. And in that Laker game, if you guys remember, he was playing well. Like, I think if he would have played in that game, I think we would have won if he stayed in that game. He was playing well in that game, then he got hurt. So, but that's OG, right? That's OG. Isaiah says, man, I'm going to be honest. We all have been negative, I feel, and nothing is going to get better if we all have the negative energy surrounding this team. I know I've been pretty negative. It's time to change that. You see, I love it when you guys come around, man. Yeah, man. I feel like there's been a lot of negativity in the chat, and all I'm going to say is, look, after the weekend we have had, guys, you got to enjoy these wins, man. You got to enjoy the season. I just think most of the time, sometimes we get wrapped up in like, okay, this is why, we're not going to go far. Like games like tonight where we almost blew it. The coaching staff needs to be better. I feel like sometimes we get wrapped up in that stuff, and all that stuff is true, but we won, right? We won. You take the win. All that matters is that you win the game, right? You win. Don't matter how it look. It matters what's in the W column. Did you win or did you lose? You won. And Tom Thibodeau has said it multiple times. He'd rather go through what the Knicks are going through wins than through losses. And which is why tonight I'm enjoying this one. Because what Jalen Brunson put together in the final minutes was a masterclass. That was a masterclass, guys, and he was awesome. And watching that is poetic. Like watching him cook his opponent, come down confidently, nail a three, point to Melo. It's just awesome. It's just awesome stuff. And, it's moments like this is what I love. It's like JB pulling us to victory and salute. Some sarcasm in the chat. Wild Boy Trade, what's going on? The Knicks is still a top team in the NBA, and y'all still complain. Be quiet. 100. Enjoy this roller coaster of a ride this season and stop complaining every second. I love it, man. Jaw says, go Knicks. This Rover says, I'm not that happy since the 76ers are nobodies. First of all, the 76ers, by the way, I know they put together a little run and then they almost won the game in the fourth. But prior to that, they looked like a bunch of dudes that just looked like they're playing basketball in a pickup park. Like in the first half, I don't know what the heck they were doing offensively. They just looked like a bunch of guys that were playing pickup basketball. Like Paul George was dribble, pull up. Maxey, I know he's dealing with a hand injury. Missed 10 threes tonight, I believe. But, credit to them. They persevered at the end and, they almost they made it respectable. But in that first half, I just thought, man, these guys, man, what are they doing? And that situation over there is, look, a lot of people, guys, we could be the Sixers. Like, there was a lot of experts that had the 76ers being better than us this season, right? A lot of people, I keep receipts too. A lot of people have the 76ers better than the Knicks this season. A lot of people. And for everything that we have gone through, right? Good spot, man. You're third in the Eastern Conference. You're 38-20. You're 21-10 at Madison Square Garden. You're 17 away from Madison Square Garden. 17-10 away from MSG. Let's be respectful in the chat, please. Hold on. All right. Sheesh. Dick Yak says Maxey 0-10 won't check himself. Wild Boy Trey says the league is in trouble when we get Mitch and Cat on the floor at the same time. There we go, man. Brunson dropping 50 with the win against Memphis. Yeah, man. Look, you're third in the East. Right now, if the season ended today, you would be playing the Detroit Pistons in the first round of the playoffs. And that, ladies and gentlemen, guys, the way the Pistons are playing right now, man, I mean, look, it's the NBA. It's tough. It's tough out here, man. But Knicks, Pistons, first round, that's going to be must-watch TV if that was to happen. Still got a lot of the season left. But the Bucks are right there, right? You could play the Pistons or the Bucks right now. Pistons, Bucks, Pacers. Those are your options because the Magic are 4.5 behind Detroit. I don't think they will catch Detroit. So I think the Knicks' first-round opponent will either be Pistons, Bucks, or the Pacers. Obviously, we still got a lot of season left, and we'll see what anything can happen. So yeah, still got a lot of season left. But yeah, you're third in the East. All right, let's get to the Discord calls. See who's in the Discord. Oh, we got El Figgy and Yuri in the Discord. Let's get to El Figgy first. Yuri, please put yourself on mute. Let's get to El Figgy first. El Figgy in the Discord. Yuri, please put yourself on mute. El Figgy, what's going on? Welcome to the Knicks Nation postgame show.
Hey, how's it going, Ant?
Good, how are you?
Good. Yuri and I are having a good convo over here.
What was that? Sorry?
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, no, Yuri and I are over here chatting it up.
What you got? Knicks win, big win. Jalen Brunson saving us at the end of the game. How about number 11?
Man, look, I'll take. We got to win the winnable games. I'll take this. I'll take this all day.
Yeah, I mean, after the weekend we had, I mean, you can't leave these like you can't just be disappointed about a win. It's just one of those games that you learn from and you move on.
No, I'm gonna take this win all day. We got to win the winnable games. We got a very hard schedule ahead of us. We got Memphis coming up. I know we had a rough weekend, but we got to put that in the rear view. And it is what it is, man. I was talking to Yuri about this while we were on hold, and although I know it's frustrating, and I know right now, you got ESPN and all the networks calling us pretenders, not contenders. I think we're closer than people are giving us credit for. And I was talking about this with Yuri. That first OKC game, we had them up until the fourth quarter. We ran out of gas. The first one at the beginning of January.
Yeah, that was rough.
And even the Celtics game over the weekend, we brought it to within 4 points.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were. I know the language in the post game that the Knicks fans were portraying was we brought it to 4, so we have to build off of the third quarter. But yeah, look, they could build off of that. They can, but it was just unfortunate that they still got blown out at the end. But yeah, it's a long season, right? It's a long season, and look, these games, especially this past weekend, were disappointing. But the Knicks have opportunities at the end of the season to get some revenge, and hopefully they can. And hopefully with Mitch coming back versus Memphis, they look different. But it was a good win tonight. It was a good win.
It was an okay win. I'll take it. It was, I don't know if I'll call that good, but I'll take it. And again, I also want everyone to be kind of realistic. I don't think Mitch is going to fix the problems that we have right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be, that silver bullet that everybody wants him to be. And so I think we need to be patient with that as well because, everybody was saying, we're now, and even Tiz was saying, he just came out with this the other day saying we've been playing this season without our starting center. So has the plan always been to start Mitch at the 5 and Cat should be at the 4? Because to me, if that was really the case, why hasn't Hukporti been out there with Cat on the floor so we can see our two bigs together just to give us a taste of what it'll be like when Mitch comes out?
Exactly. And he kind of retracted those statements before the game. But, yeah, I think Hukporti and Cat have only played like 9 possessions together. I was looking it up prior to the game. But I do think eventually, even in closing lineups, they will start Mitch alongside Cat. They will. But, yeah, you're right. But he did kind of retract those statements because I think he got heat from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey, I appreciate the call.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you as always.
Yeah. Nah, man. Keep going. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go. Yuri, what's up?
What a gritty. It wasn't pretty, but it was gritty. Your Knicks come out after blowing a 19-point lead. They still get the job done. And these are the kind of games that you have to win without Cat. No Cat, no problem. We smoking on that Philly pack. Embiid, if you hear this, karma's a biatch. I hope you retire from the NBA and never come back.
Hey, man, I think it's a possibility. Look, how about it looks weird.
Back to the game, though.
First of all, it looks weird watching Quentin Grimes in a 76ers jersey. That was weird.
He's an op now. We can't, once a Nick, always Nick, but he's an op.
Yeah.
Anyway, game ball, Jalen Brunson.
Of course.
I'm giving a game ball to Mikal Bridges, and I'm giving a third half of it to Ariel Hukporti.
Yeah, Hukporti was awesome. It's unfortunate that he got hurt, but I thought that he did some good things tonight. Look, for a rookie.
Yeah, no, same.
I thought he did some really good things. 4 or 5 from the fields. I mean, offensively, he's impressed me for sure. So
when did he get hurt? I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice it either. Yeah, I saw that he called to the bench and he was out of there, and then he came back and then he was out of there again. So
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get an update on Hukporti's knee, but yeah, that was unfortunate.
Listen, Ariel Hukporti did a really good job tonight, though. He really did.
Yeah.
He gave that energy. There was nobody going into the paint when Ariel was out there. And I feel like, give crap to Tibbs as much as we do. when Tibbs has his rim protector, the defense is better.
Yep.
And that's the only way his drop coverage defense works. Everyone's saying he's got to change the drop coverage. He's got to change the drop coverage. I agree. He should change it up. He needs to develop something when there's no center.
Yeah.
But when you see it work, it works. And we're actually doing really good on a 3-point line as well today. I think we held the 3-point line up until like that second half where they caught fire.
Yeah.
What do you think game ball ride goes to, Knicks Nation?
Look, anytime Jalen Brunson can go on a little 9-0 mini run, I mean, obviously I'll give the game ball to him. But, I really want to, give Mikal his due because I thought he was awesome.
He heard the noise.
I thought the Knicks could have, kept feeding him a little bit. They kind of went away from it, but I just thought he was awesome. He heard the noise, and that's what you want him to do is respond. And Yuri, appreciate the call.
I want to talk one thing with you, though, because Tony did tell me to bring it up.
Yeah,
we saw Mikal with the bench unit in that second quarter.
Yeah.
And
for a little bit,
honestly,
and then he got subbed out.
But once he had that bench unit, he was controlling the ball. And me and Tony, we were talking about it in a chat. He actually brought up a lineup that he wanted Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, OG, with Cat and Mitch on the floor. The bench would be Campaign, Salmon, Precious Achua, with Mikal Bridges. But at the same time, though, and Josh Hart, but at the same time, though, you lose heart of the lineup, though. That's what I don't like about that lineup.
Repeat the starting lineup again.
Starting lineup would be Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, OG Anunoby, Cat, and Mitchell Robinson. Your bench would be Campaign, Landry Shamet, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Precious, and Ariel Hukporti.
That's a lineup.
Like that lineup because we lose Hart.
I think that's a lineup. I think that's a lineup that we would eventually see, but that's not going to start. I think that's a lineup that we'll see during the games, but I don't think that'll ever be a starting lineup, in my opinion. But it's intriguing. It's intriguing. Mm-hmm. Yuri, appreciate you.
We needed a win today after the week we had.
Let's go.
Oh, no Shaman, Tony? Okay, it was Hukporti plus his Hart Mikal Payne. Okay, that was the bench.
Yuri, appreciate the call, as always. Yeah, there's going to be, like, when Mitch is back, there's going to be many lineups that Knicks can go with. I've even saw people, like a lot of people want Mikal benched when Mitch comes back. But I don't think right away Mitchell Robinson will start right away. I think that will take time. But there's going to be lineups that you're going to see, like he just said, with Deuce at the 2 and with Brunson at the 1. Tom Thibodeau will tinker with those lineups. Eventually, I think where the Knicks want to get to is the lineup of Mitch, Cat, Anunoby, Mikal, and Brunson. I think eventually that's where the Knicks want to get to. And that puts Hart back on the bench, Deuce in his bench role, Payne, Precious, Hukporti, because we've seen that Hukporti can provide stuff. But Yuri brought up a good point regarding that. The void that we have been missing is Hartenstein, right? He was kind of like our rock defensively. He would clean up a lot, man. He made a big difference. Remember, when Mitch got hurt and we inserted Hartenstein in the lineup, that is when we propelled last season. Like, Mitch came back and people were like, you can't bench Hartenstein, so you got to continue to start him. Then Hartenstein takes the money, leaves. That was the piece that this Knicks team misses the most. That is the piece that this Knicks team misses the most. And you're getting Mitch back. Hopefully you can replicate a little of that. But all in all, I'm just happy Mitch is coming back, guys. All in all, I'm just happy Mitch is coming back. Appreciate the calls. Yuri, appreciate the call. El Figgy, appreciate the call. First time caller, too. Once again, Discord link is in the pinned up in the comments. But look, you got it done. You got the win. You move on. It looked ugly at the end. Shout out to JB. And we just have to, hope that Bridges can build off of this win and just go from there. Tony says Mikal will be the number one option. he will average more than 17. He still will be seeing the same kind of minutes. Guys, I really do think that it's not going to happen. I just think you're not going to. The logistics, right? I hate to keep bringing up what you paid for Mikal, but then you're going to put him on the bench. Like, I know whatever it takes to make the team win, whatever it takes to get the dub, but I just truly think you don't put Mikal on the bench. You don't. He has too much experience. He's been there. Like, this is a guy who's performed in the NBA Finals, right, with the Phoenix Suns against the Milwaukee Bucks. So this is a guy who's played in big games in college. He's played in big games, and I just think that he's, sometimes he goes through stuff throughout the season, like this weekend, and I just think, you don't. I think to put a percentage on that, I think it's like 1%, honestly. El Figgy says, let's hope Kat and Josh are right for Friday. Memphis like second chance rebounds. Yes. The thing about Memphis, right, they were like playing extremely well, but they've kind of like hit a wall. But either way, man, it's a tough place to play. I remember last season, I don't know if you guys remember this, but was it last season where we almost lost in Memphis? And it would have been a terrible loss, or did we lose in Memphis? But either way, I think the Knicks almost lost, or they did lose in Memphis. And the Memphis were playing their, like, third stringers. And they were giving the Knicks issues last season. Obviously, it's last season, but Memphis is a tough place to play, is what I'm getting at. So, look, Memphis is 38-20. You're 38-20. They're 22-6 at home. It's tough, man. It's a tough place to play. So, you get Mitch back, hopefully. You get Cat back, and you got to find different ways to win. Many different ways to win. They're going to want some revenge. You beat them in MSG. You smack them in MSG. And they're going to want some revenge. But all in all, it's going to be a tough, gritty game, right? It's going to be one of those tough, gritty games, and I can't wait. Especially if Mitch is back for this one. So, all in all, win's a win. You chalk it up, and you just go from there. El Figgy says, look, we've got to lock up for the playoffs. We have problems if we have to see Detroit in the first round. Yeah, that's the last team I would like to see right now is the Detroit Pistons. I guarantee you if the Knicks get matched up with the Pistons, you're going to have people picking the Pistons because they're, they've given the Knicks issues this year, by the way. But yeah, Pistons are playing well, but, at the end of the day, you just got to control what you can control. Knicks have a lot of stuff to clean up. They do. And Mitch won't, clean up everything. He's not, the savior, but he will clean up a lot. And I'm just happy that he's going to be, on the team, back. Like, we waited for this moment, like, honestly. And it's finally come. And I'm just excited, intrigued to see what it looks like. Let's get to some post-game comments, and then we'll wrap this up. But once again, appreciate every single one of you tuning in to the Knicks Nation post-game show. Let's go to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson says, let's go to Jalen Brunson. Hold on. Let's play JB.
What did you see from Ariel? He got the start, obviously. What do you like about the early play?
Yeah, I've said this way before, but I'm proud of the way he comes to the game and impacts the game and what he does. And he's retained a lot in a very short amount of time. And so nothing but proud and excited of the way he's been playing.
Hope you guys can hear that. But Jalen Brunson, let me know if you guys can hear that, says about Ariel Hukporti. He was asked about what do you think about Hukporti. He says, I'm proud of the way he comes into the game and impacts the game. He's retained a lot in a very short amount of time. And come from your captain, that means a lot from JB. So shout out to Hukporti. Just hope that he's good. See if there's anything else interesting. All right, let's see what this guy has to say.
You mentioned the free throws in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Brunson shot 16 in the game. Just
Yeah.
like when they can put the ball in his hands down the stretch, like just what are the biggest challenges when you're trying to contain him when he's drawing fouls, and then obviously hits the three-pointer.
Yeah, I mean the challenge is you're trying to do two things with him. I mean he only took 5 threes tonight. That's pretty good. We try to,
You tried and you failed. Don't really want to hear what you got to say. You tried and you failed, man. This is the Jalen Brunson. Beautiful, just beautiful basketball. Rattles in and out, hits a three. I think he was pointing at Melo in the corner, by the way. It's beautiful. It's confident. He's confident. He's playing with a sense of confidence right now. Stud. Tony says, I'm looking forward to the Warriors and Lakers game. Yes. Next, I think in the coming weeks, we got another West Coast trip. Hate those games. They start at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Don't like those games. Just Rover says, maybe stop fouling JP then. Yeah. Look, Knicks win. Got it done. Friday, got a big opponent. Hopefully we get Mitch back. Appreciate every single one of you, again, tuning in. As always, it is Let's Go Knicks. It got it done. Win's a win. Thank you, JB. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for giving me your time. I'm Anthony. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.